This is Tom Cloud with an update on gold and silver. Let's start with the Fed stuff this week. We saw them drop interest rates from 4.5 to 4.25, and yet the stock market went down substantially with it as we continue to start a new time under a different administration. And certainly we're all hoping, but we all know that all the things we want to accomplish, or some of them are very inflationary, some of them are problems of being able to get your debt financed, which we're big at in the world right now. So we start by saying they brought it down. I really think interest rates are going to stay pretty even the rest of the year, especially if they're able to get inflation down a little bit more to around 2.5% instead of 3.5%, somewhere in there. So anyway, we're going to watch that closely because gold has always been your hedge you want against inflation and just having something that's accepted anywhere in the world. But we also saw this week that the Fed came out first quarter, meaning October, November, and December on fiscal year 2025. So what happened there is we saw interest. Well, first of all, 7 trillion something went out, and only 5 trillion something came in to end the September 30th year. So we had another $2 trillion of deficit, and it just keeps piling and compounding, and so far it's going to keep doing that. But what you got to look at is that the interest rate went up. Interest went up $771 billion in October, November, and December. You multiply that times 4 quarters, another $3 trillion in debt added to it. And remember, when it's Federal Reserve stuff, it's the debt and the deficit spending that we have is all right there to look at. And you just wonder how long it can go without it crashing. I've had some incredible meetings in the last 3 or 4 months. I've had my whole 49-year career in March will be 49th anniversary of this company that started. So got to make it one more to get to 50 in 26, excuse me. So anyway, what we're saying today, just to kind of put it in where you can see it from another angle, interest, when I talk about 771 billion for 3 months, what is a billion, a quadrillion? These numbers we're hearing. Well, let's just look at how many seconds, and hopefully some of y'all have seen this, how many seconds is in a million? Answer, 11.5 days. That's for a million. How about for a billion seconds? How long is that? 31 years. And lastly, how about a trillion seconds? 31,688 years. 31,688 years. And we're seeing these trillions pile up like never before. But I think the most moving meeting I've had in the past probably 3 or 4 weeks is someone that is my age, a baby boomer, us that were born between 1945 and 1954. But the guy said, I just now, well, not just now, like a month ago, got back to where I was in 2008 and 9 when the financial crisis came, and he said, the average drop on stocks was 38%. He said, I was in too aggressive position and lost 50% of my money. He doesn't have opportunities. He's not an entrepreneur type job, but he has some money from different sources. But he said, I can't do it. He said, I can't take that risk at my age and 70 years old plus. He said, I've got to get my money into gold because that's the only thing, even in 2008 and 9, it was a small part of my portfolio. It was the best thing I had by far. And that's what we're seeing right now, because when everything changed, that banks could, through Basel III, own gold. It's exploded. Gold is up. Listen to this right here. Here's the end of 2022 to the end of 2023. was 13.20%. That was the first year that the banks could own gold and count it on their balance sheets, the central banks. For the year 2024, gold just finished at 26.36%. So for 40% up is the gold market in 2 years since central banks could buy gold. If you can't figure out where to put some of your money, I'm not saying 100%. I'm talking about if you don't take a position, you're making, and probably the best opportunity I know out there, with the risk beta being low, real low. So once again, that was 13.10 the first year gold went up, and that was 2023, 2024, 26.36, so 40%. Now, even better than that, first month, we've just finished the first month of the year. Gold in 1 month has gone up 7.9%, one month. And it's going to go a lot higher. Everybody says, oh, it's at a new high. It's hit 2,800. It can't go any higher. People, you have just seen the start. I'm not going to start throwing numbers out there, but central banks are going to keep increasing. Russia's getting back into major, what they have left in assets, they're selling for gold. A lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it. So all I can tell you is you need to be looking at gold as a part of your portfolio. If you've already owned some, you just need to increase it. And we're glad to talk to you. Catherine, my daughter, Trip, Cloud, my grandson, and myself, we're available to talk to you and answer questions because we want you to be ready for what's coming, because it's going to be some bad stuff. I mean, I don't care who the president is. We've got too much debt and too many problems, and it's compounding. That's the problem, is compounding too quickly. Okay, who are still, China and Japan still own of this $36 trillion debt, they still own about 20 of it, or 22 of it. So, you know, at one time they can pull and ask for all the bonds and bills to be pulled in, and what would happen to our economy? I don't have to even want to go there. I don't want to go there, and I don't want you to go there. So we've got that exciting coming up. And then what I want to do is just close by remembering, that gold and silver should be a part of a portfolio. Talk to a financial advisor. I've always recommended 10 to 20%. They don't like to take that much. Most advisors, the reason they don't recommend gold and silver to their clients is they don't get paid on it. They can't get paid on it, where you can buy it directly from a company like ours or someone else. But we're excited about the future. 49 years, I've still got an incredible aptitude towards seeing people made whole. 49 years, I've seen so many wonderful stories. Not every one of them, but big percentage of gold and silver investors have made money, and I just think it's going to be the big move. Robert Kiyosaki, the good dad, poor dad, came out with his book, and he's recommending, he's predicting right now that gold is going to 15,000 from 2,800, and silver is going to go to 70 from 32 where it is now. I believe that with all my heart. It's going to go to 70, and it's not going to take a long time either to get there. So we want you to look at silver. We still have the best deal in the world on storage. If you don't want to hold it, you run it like a bank. We've got a client that runs it. He takes out, sells a few coins, runs 3 months of his household. He will not put it in a bank, and he's got a reason. I can't tell you his story, but he's got a reason never to put money in a bank again. So he'll have a check and pay different things. But if he does have the bank, it's just pay small bills. Nothing major will be paid out of that. So, and I think the same way. I think you got to watch what's going on with all the cyber theft that I did have 2 years ago. My account got hit by cyber. It took 1 month to get my money back. 1 month. So look at it and realize that we can store it cheaper than anybody in the world. And when you're ready to sell, you just call us. Trip will make out the transfer, and we wire you the money. It's that simple. It's that simple. But gold is gold and silver goes more like money, and it's going to continue. And we think anything that's going to be in the future, going to a new currency, it's got to be backed by something that the world agrees on. Well, the only thing is gold. There is nothing else. Unless you call government securities, that pay 2-3%. Yes, they're still government securities, but that's paper money. Some people call it fake money because it just got sworn in. It didn't represent anything except debt and economic problems that money can be issued. And here's a closing thought on you. Once again, remember you can get a call, office number 800-247-2812, 800-247-2812. And we'll call you back, Tripp or Catherine or I will call you back, right away and talk about it. But the thought is, look at this either as you keep cost averaging, you keep buying so many ounces of gold or silver a month or quarter, and just keep advancing, because you're going to be amazed what it compounds up. But Kawasaki, I don't agree with his 15,000, but I do think goes easily going to go to 6,000. It's almost at 3,000 now. It's at 2,800. Only needs 200, about 8% more. And if I could guarantee, I'd do that. I can't guarantee anything, but I do think it'll get there, and I think it'll get there in the first quarter of this year that we're in right now. Can do that. But the big thing now in the gold industry is you talk to prominent people, and everything now is referred to as fake money. It's fiat currency, money by decree. Figure this out, and the closing thought is, what's happened in California? What's happened in California? What's happened with all these hurricanes the past 4 or 5 years in the country? How about a volcano here or there? All this stuff comes. Where do you think the money comes from to pay for all that? They're talking about 150 billion needed in California to get it restored. Where do you think the 150 billion is going to come from? It's going to be money that's just sworn in by the Congress, votes on it, approves the Emergency Act. They've got FEMA for part of it, but it's just, you just put it in there, and who ends up with it? The rich people get richer and the poor people get poorer because it causes inflation. You put 150 billion into the money supply, I can promise you inflation's going up, and the interest rates will have to go up to keep it from getting away from us. So keep your eyes open as to what's going. There's never been a time for you and me to watch every barometer of economics that we can, because when it goes, it's going to be like 2008 and 9. It's going to go fast. And you got to be positioned in that, in these different things, and have a portfolio that can be, you may lose in this area for a short time and gain over here, and then vice versa. But you got to stay in both of them. And we're here to help on the gold and silver. Certainly not, we don't do stocks or bonds. But anyway, we look forward to another prosperous year for the ones of you that have invested, and those that haven't, give us a call. But anyway, hope we have a great year, and may God bless you and be with you.